Welcome back. My name is Teresa and I'm very much alive and in a different angle. Ooh. I have an awful garbage filthy mouth where sometimes, just sometimes, I tend to use the word fuck as a comma. I know, it's disgusting. I should be stopped. But I haven't and I'm here, you're here. Grab a snack. If you're not into that or weird stuff in general, this is definitely not the place for you. Feel free to X out the video here. No harm, no foul. But I'll remember our time fondly. I am so excited for today's video. I put a poll up on YouTube and about 58% of you pumpkins wanted to see today's review instead of the
Arizona Divorcee palette,
which, trust me, that review will be coming soon. But in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the new Kaleidos palette. And this is the Club Nebula palette in collaboration with the beautiful, the wonderful, my sister from another mother and mister, Angelica Nyqvist. And I'm so sorry if I didn't say that correctly. I think I did though. I think I did. I'm patting myself on the back for nothing. Anyway, I've known Angie quite a bit now and I love her, I adore her. And when I heard this was happening, I was like, oh my God, I need to have it and put it all over my body. I feel like this is not only a wonderful representation of her, but the brand's aesthetic as well. Full transparency, this was sent to me in PR. However, regardless if the palette was sent to me in PR or if I purchased it with my own money, I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts on it. So buckle up, boys. We got a lot to talk about.
Club Nebula retails for $45. Future formal shadows for freestyle elegance, redefining glamour with rich, sultry color combinations that bring universal class to far-out looks. This opulent mix of gala-ready, cool and warm tone color combinations was created in collaboration with beauty guru Angelica Nyqvist. Again, really sorry if that's not how you say it. Featuring an elegant selection of suave, dark mattes and vibrant, dazzling duochromes. This palette balances deep, rich hues with flurries of shimmering, pastel, and neon, here to shake up dramatic makeup. The Club Nebula palette is tailor-made for the adventurous yet tasteful connoisseur of fine eyeshadow. Take the conformity out of formal and rise to any occasion without compromising your own style.
So this palette retails for $45. The packaging is fucking stunning. I mean, come on, like, it's stunning. This is what I imagine a cigar box in a classy strip club in deep space looks like. The packaging is somewhat similar to the Escape Pod, except I'll be honest, this feels a hell of a lot nicer than this. This one just has texture, and then of course, the parts that don't have texture, it has a sheen to it. This has a matte style, and I actually prefer this more. It just feels good in the hand. When you open them up, you get a nice full-size mirror, and you get 15 shades. I would discuss each shade, but I don't want to repeat myself repeatedly because I didn't find any inconsistencies between the shades. I have used them all, and I think for this review, I'm just going to break them down by finishes. And in this palette, there are 3 different finishes. We have 9 mattes, 4 duochromes, and 2 multichromes. And the looks that I created for this video, which I believe I'm going to be putting up 4, I tried to stay within the row just to make sure that I use every shade. However, I did find myself having to reach for other rows just to add a little bit more dimension or to slut it up a bit. So let's talk about the matte shades. They are so wonderfully pigmented and they blend so motherfucking easily. These are very consistent with the existing formula that's in the brand. So if you are a fan of those shadows, you won't be disappointed. I was particularly impressed with the blues. In general, blues are difficult to make and sometimes they're very patchy. And I'm happy to report that not one of these blue shades are patchy. Sometimes I find with intense colors, they can be overpowering. And sometimes when you're blending, everything kind of just looks like one color. Or it could be like a pressed pigment situation where you start to blend out and then it balls out immediately. I'm happy to say that I did not experience that at all with the matte shades in this palette. And there are some intense colors and each color stands on their own. And you're able to create beautiful gradients easily. I love this kind of formula because it does the work for you and you're not spending 20 minutes jerking this palette off and apparently throwing it up in the air. Disgusting. I like that it takes no time at all to create really beautiful looks. There is minimal fallout with the mattes, and I found that the blue shades definitely did leave a little bit of staining. But honestly, look at me, I look like fucking paper. Shit is going to stain on me. And honestly, who the fuck am I impressing? The UPS guy? Actually, funny story. The UPS guy sees me all kinds of fucked up throughout the day. And usually I look like I rolled out of a bush. I'm in my pajamas and it looks like birds are living in my hair. Attractive. I'm married, boys. But every time I open that door, my eye makeup looks motherfucking flawless. And the last time I saw him, I was actually playing with this palette and he was delivering me my Jaclyn Cosmetics mystery box, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up in the corner there. But he actually said to me,
"Your eye makeup looks really pretty today."
And he really did his best not to try to stare at the giant coffee stain that was on my chest and my purple sloth slippers. He's a good guy. Bless him. Anyway, let's talk about the duochromes. There are 4 duochromes in this palette, and each one is fan-motherfucking-tastic. When it comes to Kaleidos duochrome formula, I find that their pairings in their palette often have a very celestial flair to them. I feel like a badass deep space warrior bitch that's about to take over the planet one dick at a time. I use glitter glue when applying the shadows, and it definitely minimized the glitter bukkake, which is great. When I did get any fallout, for the most part, it was very easy to clean. I didn't experience any cracking, any fading, any irritation when using the glitter glue, no spicy butthole, nothing. It was perfect. They are so incredibly pigmented. Not only do they look good on the lid, you could pop them in the inner corner. Shit, you could probably make them a motherfucking highlight. They're awesome. And you do not have to build up the opacity. It's like, bam, right in your face. And that's what I love about Kaleidos. It's intense payoff. I also want to note that I can layer the duochromes on top of each other. I find that not with this brand, but some other brands, sometimes when you are layering shimmers on top of each other, it has this very weird reaction where it starts to get very hard and it looks very wrinkly and starts to build texture on the lid, kind of very similar to a wrinkly ball sack. So I'm very, very happy to say that even when layering all the different duochromes and the multichromes together, I didn't experience any sort of weird texture. Everything looked very seamless and smooth and buttery on my lid. And the last thing I want to note too about the duochromes, while they do have some sparkle, I didn't experience any sparkles falling down my face throughout the course of the day. Again, this formula is very, very much in line with the other existing palettes from this brand. So the last finish I want to talk about are the multichromes. Now there are 2 multichromes in this palette. And regarding this finish, this is the only criticism I have about this palette. I think both of the shades are absolutely beautiful. There is a fair amount of sparkle, and even with some glitter glue, you're gonna have some glitter bukkake falling all over your face, looking like Tinkerbell shit on it, and that's fine. It's not the easiest to clean, but I think if you do your eye makeup first and then your base, you should be fine. Now, when I think about multichromes, I think instant payoff, right? So I think about Divina Cosmetics, for example, or Cliona. While I don't mind Kaleidos' multichrome formula, it's not my favorite multichrome in the land because they're not as intense as Divina or Cliona. The blue shade Astro is a beautiful color, and at first I assumed it was a duochrome, and it's actually what I have on my face today. And the reason why I thought it was a duochrome is because in a particular light, you can kind of see a deep purple shift. However, this shade is described as a royal blue with a glimmer of warm violet and teal. Now, when I swatched a shade and flexed it on my hand, and I catched the light in a certain way, I could kind of see the purple blue into teal, kind of, but on the eye, no, I don't see it at all. Even under a dark base, I still couldn't see it. On the eye, it definitely had a blue with a slight purple shift, but only the slightest. It was more metallic blue than anything. I also found that this shade has definitely a lighter opacity when applied with the brush, so I definitely had to keep building it up. The other multichrome shade in this palette is Celestial. This is another beautiful shade, and I actually prefer this shade over Astro. I feel like you can see the shift a little bit more clearly. But again, this is not as intense as the other brands that I mentioned. Compared to Astro, it definitely has a stronger opacity, and I didn't find that I needed to build it up. This shade actually reminds me very similar to the shade that's in the Sashimi palette, which is one of my favorite Kaleidos palettes. What can I say? I love me a good basic bitch palette. This palette, I believe, is going to be restocked on February 17th. So if you are interested in picking this up, you will not be disappointed. Had I not received this in PR, I would have definitely picked this up, and I would have been very, very happy with my purchase. For $45, I think you get a really nice variety of cool and warm tone shades. This palette is not a companion piece by any means. You can get a lot of use out of it. Honestly, this palette's just really fucking fun to play with. And even with my small criticisms that the multichromes are not the multichromes that I love and adore, still very fucking beautiful, and I had a blast playing with them. Honestly, this is just a fun fucking palette, and it's so incredibly easy to use. Even with my small criticisms aside, every shade worked absolutely perfectly, and I loved turning myself into an alien slut every time. Again, I want to say thank you so much to Kaleidos and Angie for sending this my way, and congratulations on making a really cool motherfucking palette. This is awesome to play with, and I cannot wait to keep playing Alien Invasion around my apartment as I shoot my husband with a Nerf gun while looking like a badass warrior bitch. So thank you for that. Anyway, I want to hear from y'all. Let me know down below if you picked up this palette or if you're waiting for the restock, or if you have it and you love it, you hate it, let me know. I would love to hear from you. And I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, it's free, and hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, to all my little beautiful patron bubbies. I love your adorable, delicious faces. Thank you so much for keeping this disgusting, filthy, trashy, even more filthy, really trashy garbage boat afloat. I couldn't do it without you, and I can't wait to like pinch and eat your face. Just gonna pinch them all up. If you wanna know what is currently on my face, along with where to get this palette, everything will be listed in the description box below, along with where to find my merch, my podcast, and I don't know, whatever else I put down there, I don't know. Everything will be down there. And I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.